Google has just announced that it will now be free to advertise products for e-commerce stores on Google Shopping. So in today's show I want to explore exactly what that means for you if you're an e-commerce store, who is eligible for those free Google Shopping ads, where those free Google Shopping ads will show, and how to go about getting those free listings. Welcome to a Tea Time show with me, Mark Tillison. At Tillison Consulting, we're an e-commerce consultancy specialising in Google Shopping. So we provide training, consultancy, helping you guys set these things up, or we take this all off your hands and manage it for you and make you a lot of money. So that's what we do. If you do need some help with Google Shopping or with the topic I'm covering today, then you can either ask in the comments, we'd love your questions and we try and help in the comments there, or you can find us at tillison.co.uk, contact us there and you can hire us to help you in whichever way suits you the most. So without further ado, let's dive in. So Google has announced on its blog that it is now free to sell on Google. So that is a bit hyping it up. Yes, it is now free to sell on Google, but you can't kind of show your ads everywhere for free. Also, Google is currently rolling this out across the globe, so it's April 2020 right now with the announcement, and over the remainder of 2020 Google will be rolling out across the globe. Right now it seems that it is live, or will be live very soon, for advertisers in the US and in India. So what does that mean if you are in the UK like we are? So generally speaking, when Google rolls out new features and new products, new services, the UK tends to be kind of reasonably close to the front of the queue. So my expectation is that probably during May, June, July time, I would hope that this rolls out to the United Kingdom. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and we'll create another video and let you guys know when this is available in the UK. So whether you are in the UK, the US or anywhere else right now, there are some things that you can do to set that up and make yourself ready so that it automatically starts advertising for free for you, and I'll come on to those in a moment. What I first wanted to do was just qualify exactly where these ads are likely to be showing. So if we head to Google and type in furry slippers, you get the search results, and we have a text ad here, and we have the shopping ads across the top, we have some image results, and then organic, no problem. Okay, now what's going to happen with these free Google Shopping ads is that they won't show here, unfortunately. They will show in the shopping tab. Okay, so what we're going to get is a mixture of paid ads and organic placement within here. The exact details of how many paid ad slots and how many organic slots there are is not clear as yet, but this is where they are going to show. So the next question is, how do you get the free Google Shopping ads? There's kind of two answers to this question, and it depends whether you are already advertising, already have your merchant center set up, or you are new to Google Shopping and you haven't advertised at all or configured anything. So let's deal with the easy one first. So if you already have a Google Merchant Center account set up, perhaps you're already advertising with Google Shopping, all you need to do is head into the Google Merchant Center, head to Growth, Manage Programs, and you will find surfaces across Google. So the organic results that we're talking, the free Google Shopping ads, are a surface within the Google network, and you'll need to just head here and you'll either have a Get Started button, or you'll have a little cog here where you'll need to do some editing. And you just need to make sure that you've completed the steps in there. Pretty straightforward, just head in there and you know, follow your nose really and look for anything with a red X that you need to complete, and it will kind of steer you through that process. Again, if you get stuck with this, just ask in the comments or contact us via tillison.co.uk and we'll have one of the shopping team help you out. So the second part of that is, if you are not yet advertising with Google Shopping and you don't have a merchant center, what do you need to do to get the free Google Shopping ads? So there are four kind of core areas that you're going to need. So the first one is head to merchants.google.com and you need to create yourself a Merchant Center account. If you are using a Google account, a Google login for other services such as Google Analytics or Google Ads, then I would recommend that you use that same email address just to keep things simple a bit further down the line. The second thing you're going to need to do is just validate that this Merchant Center is the one that belongs to your domain. And that process is the same as it is with Webmaster Tools or Search Console, which is that Merchant Center will give you a meta tag to add to your site, to the HTML, to validate. Or you can download a HTML file, upload that to the root of your server if you have access, and then validate that way. So those are the first two steps. The third step, which arguably is the most complicated, is that we now need your inventory of the products you would like to advertise in the Google Merchant Center. And there are a number of different ways to do that. The first most common one is that most sites such as Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento 2, BigCommerce, those types of platforms will either natively, or there will be a plugin available where you can extract from your database an XML file and write that to your server and schedule that to run at, say, 2 AM. And what that will do, it will pull the titles, descriptions, the URLs for your product pages, the categories, and a whole bunch of other attributes needed for the Merchant Center. And so you create that XML file, and then we pull that into the Merchant Center, and then fetch that, say, 3 o'clock every morning. So that's always kept up to date. The second way of adding the inventory is you can create a Google Sheet and populate the data there. And again, within Merchant Center, you can follow those steps, and it will give you a Google Sheet that you can then go, here are my IDs, here is the category, here is the title, here is the description, here's the image URL, here's the price, and so forth. And you can fill that sheet in. So the only thing I would advise caution with is, if you have a lot of products, a big inventory, you don't really want to be using a Google Sheet which is static, which is going to get out of sync with the data in your website. So if you have a small number of products, or it could be a large number of products where the stock and the pricing just very, very, very rarely change, so they're not really going to go out of sync, then a Google Sheet is probably okay. If you have frequent changes to pricing and stock and adding or removing products, that kind of thing, then I would strongly recommend you go the automated route and go with the XML feed. There is another option through the automation. Sites like Shopify will use a direct connection via the API from Shopify directly into Merchant Center, and then the data is pushed directly through that way. Again, that is an automated option, and you can find out how to do that through Shopify. You can also add products manually to Merchant Center, again similar to the Google Sheet. It's going to be a bit painful if you're doing that constantly, so I wouldn't recommend it if you have a lot of products or frequent changes to your inventory. So those are the three things, and the final one where people do get stuck a lot, because this is a bit complicated in the Merchant Center, is configuring the shipping details, and we do have a video on our channel for that as well. So that needs to match the shipping policy on your website. So if it's free delivery or free delivery over a certain value, if you charge according to weight, things like that, you have to configure that in the Merchant Center or in your shopping feed. You could do it that way. I will include links to all of these resources in the description for this video. But if you do have any questions about how to kind of set this up, if you're getting stuck, do ask in the comments. If you'd like to work with us through some coaching consultancy, or you'd like us to manage this and set this up for you, then you can find us at tillison.co.uk.